On today's nightmare-filled adventure, we are bringing you part 2 of our time at Scarefest Weekend 2024. But before we go any further, I want to give a very special thanks to Scarefest themselves for allowing us to have media passes. For all the time you guys spent organizing this event, letting us have access to the talent, to the celebrities, thank you so much, and we hope you made you proud.
Also, too, we really want to send a huge thanks to anyone who stopped by and said hello and recognized us on our channel. Like, that was so heartwarming. We want to say hi to Christy and Eric and Jesse, and also to Jeremy, who had the little boy Ash Williams in line for the Crypt Keeper. Thank you all so much for watching, and we really hope you enjoy the journey that you're taking with us.
Yes, and as you watch this video, you're going to discover I am terrible with names. I'm sorry about that, and if there's anybody I am leaving out, I am sorry. But thank you guys for coming up, stopping, wanting to take pictures with us. It truly does mean the world, especially for fans like us, to meet other fans.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, without any further ado, we're about to bring you some intimate interviews that we had this weekend. And we really hope you enjoy.
Bye.
Hey guys, we're here with James Courtney, who you may know as Michael Myers from the new Halloween trilogy. So I was wanting to know what initially got you involved with this new trilogy.
So the stunt coordinator on Halloween 2018, who was the stunt coordinator on the Rob Zombie films, I've known him for 30 years. We worked on several films together, but I never worked for him as a stuntman, because I worked as a stuntman, I worked as an actor as well. But I worked with him and I knew him. So he called me and said, hey, we're making another Halloween. I was like, yeah, I heard, man. Good job, man. We never let you in. Have a great time. And he goes, well, I read the script and I called Malika Todd and David Gordon Green, the director, and I said, this script is different than any other Halloween script. Whoever plays Michael Myers has to be a really good actor, has to have really deep acting chops, and also has to be a really good stuntman. And there's not many of those guys around. So Ron tells me, he goes, yeah, well, David Gordon Green said, okay, well, he's got to be 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got to be in his 60s. Who do you know? And Ron really didn't. He was racking his brain. And my really good friends, Chris Nielsen and his wife Jennifer, one of the best stunt car guys in the business, he was like with Jimmy Courtney. And so, yeah. So I got the call. He said, are you interested? Yeah. So I'd moved back to South Carolina because I was focused completely on writing and directing and making my own films. And my decision was to only work in front of the camera when someone called me and asked me to. I wasn't going to audition. I let my agent go. I only worked with an attorney. And so they thought I was living in California, but I was in South Carolina. So they called me and asked me to go down to Charleston, South Carolina, and be put on tape. So I drove down to Charleston from Columbia, and when they put me on tape, asked me, my acting experience, my stunt experience. My very first film, I played psychopathic killer. So I, spent a weekend in a lockdown talking to paranoid schizophrenics about murder. It was so much fun. So so then I literally did that audition, and I got out into the parking lot, got my own pickup truck. Didn't even get out of the parking lot. I got a call from Blumhouse in California, and they said, are you available? I was like, yeah, I'm available. It's all good. Didn't even get to I-26, 2 miles down the road, and they called me again. They said, hey, David Gordon Green wants to meet you. Can you come back? So I'm back to meet David, and that was it. It was done. As far as I know, I was the only guy they looked at after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was actually more in-depth than I thought. Thank you so much for that. It's not. Michael Myers is my favorite. Always.
Clearly a highly intelligent guy.
Yeah. And what you brought to that role was the shape. Was truly the shape.
Thank you, man.
The dark behind the eyes, the stalking wall, you nailed it.
There's so much that goes on in that character's being spiritually, emotionally. There are like studio executives, whom I will not name, who have this attitude, yeah, just put a mask on a stuntman, anybody can do it, dog. spoken by a person who could never do it themselves. The depth that it takes to play a character like that. I've done that on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've done this in several different. It's deep, it's dark, and you got to have. I have spiritual protection that I use to keep me safe. It's a whole ritual I go through. David Gordon Green told me in 2018 that he had only worked with one other actor who goes deep and dark, as I did. And he said that poor fellow ended up in psych ward for 2 months. He had a psychotic break.
Oh, wow.
You've got to protect yourself. You've got to know what you're dealing with in order to be able to play that character.
Right.
And so I appreciate that. I appreciate your
thank you.
love and support, man.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you brought to this franchise and bringing it back to
Well,
life.
truly, it's been an honor for me, man. And then to be in a situation like this where I'm meeting these beautiful fans. We all have this shared love. It's really amazing, especially this particular convention is exceptional. And the human beings that we're all just sharing. Dude, if you can take the energy in this convention and spread it around the world, we wouldn't need cops. We wouldn't need a military. These are beautiful, loving people from every walk of life. You know what I mean?
Our fam, we are the best people because we love everything and everyone.
Hands down, dog.
Yes.
Hands down.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Real pleasure, man.
Real pleasure.
I killed him. I killed him. I killed him.
Hey guys, we're here with the always beautiful, my favorite horror queen, Danielle Harris.
Hi guys.
So I was wanting to know, with all your body of work, especially in horror, was there ever a role that you were actually nervous to take on?
The little role that I did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was super scared. Yeah, because it was like Quentin and everything has to be where I only had like 3 lines, but I still was like, oh my God, I have to say every line perfectly. So that was the only time that I was probably like, oh God, I'm scared.
And just one more, if that's okay. Again, with horror, my influence was my father. He's the one who introduced me to it. Was there anyone like that in your life that introduced you to horror that was your influence?
I think I got into it and then started meeting people that brought me more deeper into it. It wasn't huge in my house growing up because I was still so young, so we hadn't really gotten to that point yet. But now, obviously, it's everywhere in my house.
Well, I'm an 80s baby, and I definitely grew up with you in Halloween.
Awesome.
And it's been an honor to watch your career just blossom, especially in my favorite genre.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
On.
Yes, I'm hoping for another hatchet one day.
So hopefully.
But thank you so much for this time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. I don't know. The priestess said no amount of physical damage can keep him from returning again and again in his original form. He's dead. He's not.
Hey guys, we're here with Caroline Williams. Sorry, I have to look. I've messed up all day on people's names.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
But I always want to know, you've got an entire impressive body of work when it comes to horror. What was your influence into horror? For me, it was my father. Was there anybody like that for you?
I grew up in Texas, and it's the birthplace of Tobe Hooper, and the original. And I'm going to sneeze. Don't cut. It's the home of Tobe Hooper, the original and OG of horror, in my estimation. Marilyn Burns, an incredible crew and cast who created the best #1 horror movie of all time, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, it's always in your periphery. Tobe used to say horror is the new Western. And it really is, because it illustrates the ongoing war and conflict between good and evil, whether it's inside your soul, outside of your soul, and all the different ways that it lives itself out in the human world. So, you're born with it. In Texas.
Yeah. And also, my final question is, Hatchet is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
I'm flattered.
What got you involved with the third one?
I was laying in my bed recovering from shoulder surgery. I had a giant, it looked like a sleeping bag on my arm, and it was inflating and deflating to do something. It's a medical thing. I don't know. And the phone rang. and it was Adam Green. And he said, I've got something cool for you. Do you think you want to do it? And he sent me the script. I was so excited by the script. And this is the hallmark for me of a good script and a good opportunity. I leapt up out of bed and I started reading the lines out loud. I started playing the role in my bedroom with the sleeping bag on my arm. And that was it. Adam Green is Adam Green. Adam Green to me is one of the most, he's like a renaissance man for horror. He brings the horror comedy, but he can still scare the hell out of you. And that's what you want.
Adam Green honestly has been one of my favorite directors I've ever met.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
He's just so down to earth and honest.
He is.
And in a way, he seems to pick people to be in his movies that are the exact same way as him.
Well, don't flatter me, but I like to think so.
But thank you so much for taking this time with us.
Of course.
I appreciate you, and I've always been a huge fan of yours.
Thank you. And thank you, Scarefest. I appreciate being your guest and being among all these crazy horror fans.
Come on, step on it.
Fine. Just get pulled over again.
Just shut up and drive.
Hey guys, we're here with Christine Elise, who was in Child's Play 2. Now, Child's Play 2 is one of my favorite horror sequels of all time. It's definitely the one I've revisited more than any other. How did you become involved with the project?
First of all, it's by far the most popular of the 7 films. If there's a popularity contest, Child's Play 2 would definitely win it. And I got involved because I was already an actor. I hadn't done a lot of stuff yet. A few jobs here and there, like head of a class and things like that. And it was a standard audition. They were casting a teenage, offbeat sort of tough chick, teenage girl. That was that was my stock in trade at the time. I played the offbeat tough chick with a heart of gold for a long time. And I went in and I auditioned for it, and I didn't get it. And they saw everyone they wanted to see, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't find the girl, so we're going to bring the near misses back and re-audition them." And I had just gotten an episode of 21 Jump Street and an episode of Baywatch, and I was feeling really confident because it's hard to get work as an actor, especially when you're just starting out. And I went into the audition with so much more confidence and a little bit more attitude because I was like, look, I got a job I have to get to, And I think that extra attitude is what got me the job.
Wow. Well, thank you for taking the time with us for that question. Like I said, it's an absolute honor to meet you finally. I've seen you at conventions many times and always been too nervous to even
Don't be shy. I don't bite most of the time.
But thank you so much.
You're
I
very
appreciate
welcome.
you.
No problem.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi there. How about that?
Hey guys, we're here with the legendary writer-director Tom Holland. And I have been a fan of not just Fright Night, but everything you've ever done. You are honestly one of my favorite writer-directors. And to just be sitting next to you is an absolute pleasure. All right, so I've always wanted to know, when it comes to writing and directing, what was an unexpected challenge that you faced when doing Fright Night?
When I'm writing and directing, what's the first challenge?
What was an unexpected challenge you had going into Fright Night in production?
Fright Night? Well, the head of the studio, Guy McElwain, called me up 3 days before I was to start to shoot and told me he finally read the screenplay and he thought that I had a too much of a downer ending. And in the original screenplay, I had Charlie and Amy watching Peter Vincent on the TV after it was all over. And Peter Vincent says, "Hello, Charlie. Hello, Amy." And he starts to change into a vampire. Because when he had the fight with Jerry bit him. And the studio head, Guy McElwain, said, "You can't have a down ending. It sets up a sequel. But we need an ending that makes the audience happy." So I rewrote the ending and had Charlie and Peter Vincent kill Jerry. And they all end in the basement embracing each other. So that was the biggest surprise I had in pre-production with Fright Night.
Wow. I thank you for that time. Thank you so much for everything, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you out there. Watch Fright Night.
She's got the hots for the creep.
Amy! We need your help to stop him, Mr. Vincent. See, he really does believe his next door neighbor is a vampire and he's planning to kill him.
Yeah, with a stake through the heart.
Hey guys, we're here with Amanda Bierce, or
Verse rhymes with verse.
Verse rhymes with
You know,
curse.
we're at a horror show, and I told you put an H in front of my name, and it's Hearst. It's all good, Jeremy.
All right.
Okay, Jerome.
Please keep all that. It's okay.
Please. Okay.
The question I've always wanted to know is, like, I am obsessed with Fright Night. I was introduced to it by my father when I was 8.
Oh, wow. She turned out okay.
Oh, yeah. What is it about Fright Night that you think has made it so everlasting from when it came out to today?
It is good storytelling. Tom Holland created out of his love for the genre. He didn't make fun of it. He embraced it. And he created a wonderful story with three-dimensional characters. And that stands the test of time. Not only did he create it on the page, but then he shot it and visually created the story. And it's just wonderful that for generations, people are still responding to it so positively.
Yeah, I don't think it can ever really be touched. While there is a remake, I don't think it could ever touch, like you said, to Mr. Holland's writing.
Well, and it's also in the 80s, there was just this stamp of the look, of the feel of everything. So you can't recreate that era. It is what it is. And Chris Sarandon said it best, that the remake was really more of a reimagining.
Yes, ma'am.
Because again, you can't really remake what that was. It was a moment in time, and we were all just so lucky to be there and still here.
Yep.
Still here talking about it.
Well, thank you so much
My
for allowing me to
pleasure.
ask that. Thank you so much for everything. From Married for Children to Fright Night, it's an absolute honor to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Charlie, what is going on?
No, nothing. I just had a nightmare.
Oh. You know, I had one last night. It was awful. I was at this white sale, and I suddenly realized I was stark naked.
Hey guys, right now we are here with Dorothy Fielding, who played Judy Brewster in Fright Night. And Miss Fielding, I was wanting to know, what do you think it is about Fright Night that's made it everlasting to today?
Whoa. Part of it is great writing and a brilliant cast and a director who really understood what actors bring to a film. But the writing of it, it's like a comedy, it's a tragedy, it's a spiritual journey, it's all of those things. And so no matter how old you are or how old you become, you always find something different in the movie that you can relate to.
Well, I do agree upon that. Yes, I have revisited this movie so many times, and anyone that comes into my life, friend, relationship, this is one of the staples they have to watch.
Yeah.
This is a movie my father introduced me to when I was 8. And it's always been a dream of mine to meet the cast. And thank you so much for taking the time with
You're
us
very
and
welcome.
meeting us, and thank you for your work.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Just wanted to break in and talk about this guy right here, Joe Lewis. He moderates a lot of the panels for Scarefest and other conventions. If you ever get a chance to see one of the panels that he hosts, please do. No matter the guest, he's going to keep you laughing and entertained through the whole experience. Also, check out his own YouTube channel, The Bonehead Weekly. You're going to want to sub after just watching one episode. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Renee to talk about a podcast that she found. Hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, we're here with this really amazing podcast called the Bloodlust and Bourbon Podcast. I'm here with Troy and Steven, and they're going to tell you a little bit about what they do.
So it's really simple. We like to sip on whiskey and talk about horror movies. Not much more to say than that. We've been doing it for, this marks the 4th year since 2020. Came out of COVID and we're still doing it. It's going strong. It's definitely one of the best things that I think has happened in my whole life. I'm having a great time. I can't speak on behalf of Steve, but I would say you probably agree.
Yes.
we are local here in Lexington, here in Central Kentucky.
So we're pretty proud of that. Proud to have like a kind of a Kentucky name there and everything. We're really glad to be in such a big like kind of horror community here in Kentucky. Also, the third year at Scarefest too. Yeah, awesome. So it's been good. So third year it's been. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's been pretty much lived many years.
All right, guys, if you're into horror and bourbon, definitely check out Bloodlust and Bourbon Podcast, found anywhere you can find podcasts. There's a QR code. Take a picture. It lasts longer.